Hi everyone, in this video we're going to be looking at some more cool Jimi Hendrix style rhythm stuff. If you haven't done it already, check all the other videos out first in this series. This is video number 7. What we're going to be doing in this video is we're going to, rather than looking at a chord and then isolating licks around that chord, we're going to start combining two different chord shapes, similar to what Hendrix does at the beginning of Castles Made of Sand. Okay, we're going to be looking at two of the chord shapes that we've already done, and we're going to be looking at longer licks and how we can kind of get around the fretboard a little bit more, out of position, combining different chord shapes to create this kind of sound. Stay tuned and I'll tell you all about it. In this video then, we're going to be looking at some more Jimi Hendrix rhythm stuff, but if you haven't done it already, click like to like the video, hit subscribe to the channel, and also click that alert bell so you don't miss any updates. Right then, so what we're going to be doing in this video, as I mentioned briefly in the intro, is we're going to be combining chord shapes similar to what we've done in the other videos, but we're going to be looking at how you can kind of piece a few of these together. Very similar to what Hendrix plays at the beginning of Castles Made of Sand, but I'm going to show you how you can do this and add it into your own playing and use it in your own songs. So what we're going to be doing in this video then is going to be based off a major pentatonic scale. Now for the purpose of this video, everything is going to be in G major. So first things first then, a G major pentatonic sounds like this. That's a 1 octave G major pentatonic. Now if you've watched the other videos, I've showed you how underneath all of these chords that we've been playing and a lot of these Hendrix fills are coming from the major or minor pentatonics. So let's just go back to that shape. That's kind of like a standard shape for a major pentatonic, but we are going to play it in a little bit of a different way. We're going to do this. Same notes. We're just playing it in a slightly different way. Now that's a pattern that you can use all over the fretboard. So we're going to do this 3, 5, 7 on the lower E, and then 5, 7 on the A. Now in my head I'm seeing that as a pattern of 3, a group of 3, and then a group of 2. 1, 2, 3 notes, 1, 2 notes. There's my root, and then I have another root there on the D string on the 5th fret. So what that means then, I can copy and paste or use the same pattern that I've just played from that root. So 5, 7, 9, 7, 9. It's just the same thing. It's 3 notes and then to 2 notes. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay. Now that will work from any root note. As long as you find where the G is, you can play that pattern. So if I found the G note on the A string, I can do the same pattern. So remember, all of these notes are 2 frets apart. So there I'm playing 10, 12, 14, 12, 14. There's another G. I can do the same pattern. Now this time I got to compensate for the tuning on the guitar. I'm going to do 15, 17 on the B string. So obviously then I need to compensate for the tuning on the guitar. So I'd get 12, 14, 16 on the G, 15, 17 on the B string. But it's just that simple pattern. 3 notes, 2 notes, 3 notes, 2 notes, 3 notes, 2 notes, 3 notes, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and they're all 2 frets apart. Now, that first one you can do with a slide or you can pick it, but that's kind of where we're going to be going with this lesson then. A lot of these chord fills are going to be based off that really simple to remember G major pattern. Okay, so what we're going to be doing first then, the two shapes we're going to be combining are going to be the E shape and the C shape. Okay, so we're going to start there, and this is where we're going to end up. Okay, so before we've looked at there being a pentatonic scale under that shape there, and previously we've looked at the pentatonic scale under that shape there. So what we're going to do then, we're going to combine those two shapes using that pentatonic trick that I showed you at the start of the video. Okay, because there's our E shape. We're going to go up that using that trick, and there we are. We're already in position into that C shape. So let me just go through that a few times. So then I'm playing 3, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 9, and then we're into position. So that's kind of how you do it. We're just doing that kind of idea, but we're going to play a few licks, and here is lick number 1. Okay, so again, that lick is just based off that pentatonic shape. So we're going to start on the 3rd fret on the low E. We're going to play that twice. Slide from the 5th to the 7th fret on the low E. Play the 5th fret on the A string. Then we're going to double stop between the D and the A. Hammer on and pull off on this to the 7th fret and the 5th fret on the D string. And then just play the 2 5th fret notes again on the D and the A string. Okay, so that's lick number 1. Lick number 2 is the same thing, just up an octave. So we're going to start this time on the 5th fret on the D, and it sounds like this. Okay, so 5th fret on the D, slide from 7 to 9. Play the 7th fret on the G. Then hold down the 7th on the G, 8th on the B. Hammer on to the 10th fret and pull off again back to the 8th fret on the B string. And then play 7 and 8, 7 on the G, 8 on the B to finish the lick off. So let me just play that lick in its entirety. And then what, of course, we can do, we can just put those 2 licks together like this. And let's do that a bit faster. Okay, so that was kind of like 1 lick in 2 octaves and then combine it. So let's learn another lick. This one sounds like this. Okay, so same as the last lick at the beginning. So 3, twice, slide from 5 to 7. 5th fret on the A. Little bar across the A and the D string and the 5th fret. This time we're going to hammer on to the 7 on the A string and pull off to the 5th fret on the A string. Okay, and then just to finish this lick off, we're going to bar across the E and the A, but hammer on this time to the low E in the 7th fret. So the bar's in the 5th fret, hammering on to the 7th fret on the low E. So the entire lick sounds like this. Okay, so let's just move that lick up an octave. We're going to start with the 5th fret on the D. Okay, so that's the lick up an octave. We're going to start with the 5th fret on the D, play it twice, slide from 7 to 9 on the D. Play the 7th fret on the G. Then play the 7 on the G and the 8th on the B. This time we're going to hammer on to the 9th fret on the G and pull off to the 7th fret on the G. And then to finish the lick off, we're going to play a little bar across the D and the G in the 7th fret and hammer on to the 9th fret on the D string. So let me just play the lick all the way through. A little bit faster. Okay, and this time what I'll do, I'll play the lick down an octave and then play the lick up an octave straight the way after. Okay, so that is another lick. Now, of course, as I sort of demonstrated at the beginning, as long as you understand this pattern of the pentatonic and how it works, we can do the same lick starting from other root notes, so in this case G, on the neck. So let's say we had an A shape, and if you remember the trick from one of the other videos, we did that kind of Hendrixy idea. We're going to do the same lick. So there's our root, and there's the lick, the same thing as this, just in a different place. So 10, 12 to 14, 12 on the D, little bar, hammer onto the 14th on the D, pull off, little bar and hammer onto the 14th on the A. So it's exactly the same as the other lick we did there. Obviously the tone of it's a little bit different because we're on a different set of strings, but that's how we'd use it around that A shape. So the first one we did in the low octave would be stemming from this E shape. There we're in our C shape. Now the next one would be up in our A shape, we're on the 10th and 12th fret. Okay, and also we've got a G there. We've got a G in the 12th fret on the G string as well. So we could play the same lick from there as well. It's a little bit more tricky there because of the nature of the tuning on the guitar. So let me explain that one. So we're sort of going from our A shape or G shape, depending how you want to look at it, back up to our E shape, only all the way up this end of the neck. We're going to start there. We're going to play 2. We're going to slide from 14 to 16. Then play 15 on the B. Then a little bar across the B and the E strings in the 15th fret. Hammer on to the 17th on the B string, pull off, and then get the 14th and the 15th threadies, 14th on the G, 15th on the B, and you want to hammer that third finger down onto the G string in the 16th fret. And that would take us back to the E shape. So let me just play all of those in different places. Okay, let's learn another lick. This time we're going to be moving through shapes a little bit quicker. So we're going to be going from the E to the C shape a little bit quicker, and the lick sounds like this. Okay, so we're starting again, thinking of that E shape. 3, quick slide this time from 5 to 7. Bar across the D and the A. Hammer on to the 7th fret on the A string and pull off. And then we're just going to do the same thing up an octave. So we're going to start from that 5th fret on the D string, 7th fret on the G, 8th fret on the B, hammer on to the 9th fret on the G, and pull off again. Of course, we can do that in another place as well. We could do it starting from this note, which is still a G note, the 10th fret on the A string. Just like that. So let me just explain that one because that one is tricky. We're doing 10, slide from 12 to 14 on the A, little bar across the D and the G in the 12th fret, hammer onto the 14th and pull off in the D string. Then we go to the G string, 12, 14 to 16, little bar in the 15th fret across the B and the E, hammer onto the 17th and pull off again. And there we're crossing across this A shape, we're doing the G shape and also the E shape, okay? So by using this sort of pentatonic trick that we looked at the beginning, you can cross shapes. You know, and I've covered the entire fretboard there using that trick. Now, if I just play you the beginning of Castles Made of Sand, you'll be able to see how my hand moves and how Hendrix uses this kind of trick as well. So you can sort of see what Hendrix is using there in Castles Made of Sand is this trick that we've learned in this video. Okay, it's the same sort of thing. G shape up to the C shape. And it's such a cool sound. So again, Castles Made of Sand one more time. Okay, and of course, if you wanted to, you could move that up to a different area of the neck as well. So basically, all of that stuff then we've looked at is just using that trick we learned at the start of the video, this pattern, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, or 3, 5, 7, 5, 7, and just copying and pasting that pattern, which just allows us to link up these shapes. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take a simple chord sequence, G, C, E minor, D, so 1, 4, 6, 5, jam around, and I'll show you then how you can use this kind of pentatonic pattern or this cross-shaped pattern to put into your own playing, and how you can sort of move away from just being always stuck to the chord shapes. Okay, so that was just me kind of jamming around a chord sequence. Obviously, it's probably playing more than you actually would if you were doing this sort of embellishment in a song, because you'd normally play around the vocal part or whatever. But that just gives you kind of idea how you can kind of move out of position using that kind of chord trick. Now, obviously, when I did it there, I did a lot on the one chord. You could also do it on the C. You could do it on the D chord. The same thing applies with the major chords. As long as you can play the major pentatonic along with the major chords, you can do that trick. So that allows us to do it in multiple places, as I did touch on when I was jamming through it then. Hope all of that makes sense, and that's a little bit of a look into that sort of technique that Hendrix used a lot. Hope you liked that video. If you did, give the video a like, click subscribe to the channel, and hit that alert bell so you don't miss any updates. Also, if you want the PDF with all the tab notation and diagrams, you'll see a link to a free workbook in the description below. Also, come and check out my online guitar school, fretlix.com. Links all in the description below. Hope you enjoyed that video, and I'll see you again soon.